Chapter 15, Section 4, you're going to learn how to prepare a balance sheet. We have previously done this, but our balance sheet will now be expanded to include more details from our merchandising company. The accounting concept that is covered is preparing a balance sheet as part of the accounting period cycle. The balance sheet can be used to make management decisions, such as should you purchase additional plant and property equipment or take out a long-term loan. Based upon looking at the balances on your balance sheet, this information is helpful. Two sources that you're going to be using to prepare your balance sheet: the balance sheet column of your worksheet and also the statement of owner's equity, which was prepared in Section 3. The balance sheet will still have your 3-line heading, your who, what, when. And just remember that when the date for a balance sheet is always a specific date and time. It's not for the month ended. It would simply be December 31st, 2015, the year that you're preparing this. The balance sheet is broken down into assets, liabilities, and stockholders' equity. One thing new about the merchandising business balance sheet is that you're breaking down separately your current assets, which are used within 1 year, and your long-term assets that will last longer than a year. Another addition to the balance sheet is that your contra accounts, such as allowance for uncollectible accounts, is subtotaled in the first column, so you get an ending balance book value of the account, which is shown in the second column. The same for your plant assets, office equipment, less the contra account, to give you your book value of office equipment. Liabilities is broken down in between current liabilities and long-term liabilities. In this example, all of our liabilities are current, meaning they will be paid within 1 year. Third part of the balance sheet is your stockholders' equity, and you're basically going to be summarizing the totals that you had from your statement of owner's equity, which was prepared last section. The other thing I want to point out is that make sure that when you're subtotaling, you are using your lines to show that you're adding the numbers together. For your asset, you had your two current asset, long-term asset. Again, we're subtotaling it. Liabilities and stockholders' equity will equal your total assets. When you prove that both numbers are the same, you place your double underlines under both accounts titles. When preparing your balance sheet, you're going to use the worksheet that was given in Section 1, which is shown here, and you're also going to be using your statement of stockholders' equity from Section 3, tying it all together. In your worksheet, the current asset section is going to begin with cash down through prepaid insurance. These are current assets, meaning they're used within 1 year. We have one contra account that will be subtotaled in your first column on your current asset section. Refer to your worksheet and set up your 3-column title: who, what, when, Interstate Tires, balance sheet, December 31st of the current year. You're going to place your title for assets, center that section title, and now we're going to prepare the current asset section. Simply refer to the balances shown in your worksheet, placing them in the second column. Remember, for your contra accounts, accounts receivable, less your allowance for uncollectible accounts, you're subtotaling the value of your accounts receivable less your allowance for uncollectible accounts, giving your book value of accounts receivable of $15,911.61. The rest of your current assets are simply listed in column 2. Adding these numbers up together to come up to our total current assets of $223,214.13. Next section will be your long-term assets with a title called Plant Assets. Now you will prepare the long-term asset section of your balance sheet, referring to the values in your office equipment and store equipment accounts. Remember, you have contra accounts here, so you're going to be subtotaling those numbers under your plant asset section. You're going to pull down your office equipment account, put that in the first column, subtract off your contra account balance. Make sure that you put a line there because you're subtotaling, and put your book value of the account in the second column, $4,741.13. You're putting the title less office equipment less accumulated depreciation and put that title in there. Next, you're going to pull over your store equipment, your second long-term asset, subtract off your accumulated depreciation, again subtotaling, putting a line there, calculate out the value, book value of your account. The next step is to take your line now. We have the book value of office equipment and store equipment. The total of those two numbers will be placed with a title called Total Plant Assets, which is $12,688.75. Now you're going to take your current assets and add it to your plant assets to get a total asset value of $235,902.88. Remember, this value here should be the same as your total liabilities and stockholders' equity. Once you have confirmed that, you can come back later and double underline it. Next section that you're going to be working for on your balance sheet is your liability section. Remember, liabilities have the word payable in them. Liabilities will begin with accounts payable and end with dividends payable. These values here are all shown in the credit column of your balance sheet, and they are all current liabilities. So what you're going to do is refer to your worksheet and set up this section on the liabilities. You will have added the title centering liabilities below your total asset line. Add a title for current liabilities with a semicolon, and then look at your worksheet and write each of your liability accounts, indenting them slightly, and place these numbers in your second column. You're going to be getting a total liability number, so remember, when you're totaling, you place the line here. The total of all of these numbers will be written in your third column over, and the total is $25,196.05. The next title that you're going to input below your total liabilities will be your stockholders' equity account. And this information will be gathered from your statement of stockholders' equity prepared from Section 3. Now you're going to refer to your statement of stockholders' equity from Work Together 15.3. You will pull out your capital stock total of $110,000 and your retained earnings title, that value being $100,706.83. Stockholders' equity values, which came from Section 3, 15.3, are written over in your second column. Again, since you're subtotaling those numbers, you put your total stockholder equity title and place that value in the third column. $210,706.83. Remember, your liabilities and your stockholders' equity are going to equal the value that you have in your asset account. Balance sheet assets equals liabilities plus stockholders' equity is equal to your asset account. Since both numbers are the same, make sure that you place double underlines under your total liabilities and stockholders' equity. That total being $235,902.68. That concludes the balance sheet.